Varanasi, they say it's the world's oldest living city, living, breathing and occasionally reeking. You arrive expecting enlightenment, perhaps a quiet chat with a wise sage. Instead, you get a full frontal assault on the senses. It's a place that doesn't so much welcome you as swallow you whole. They call it Kashi, the city of light. Sometimes the only light seems to be the glint of desperation in a fellow tourist's eyes. Or perhaps the flash of a smartphone capturing yet another cow ambling down an impossibly narrow lane. The air itself feels thick with history, or perhaps that's just the incense mixed with cow dung and something vaguely floral. It's hard to tell. The city doesn't bother with pleasantries, it's simply. And you, dear traveller, are just a fleeting speck in its millennia-spanning existence. A rather amusing speck, probably, from its ancient perspective. The sheer age of the place is staggering. While Rome was still a twinkle in Romulus's eye, Varanasi was already an established spiritual hub. Welcome to the oldest party on earth. Don't forget your hand sanitizer. The ghats. The famous ghats of Varanasi. These are the steps, hundreds of them, leading down to the sacred river Ganges. They are the city's front porch, its living room and its rather public bathroom, all rolled into one. From dawn till dusk and well into the night, they are a theatre of human existence. You'll see people bathing with religious fervour, clothes being thwacked clean on stone slabs, children flying kites and families performing ancient rituals. It's a riot of colour, sound and activity, and the occasional goat trying to steal someone's lunch. Sunrise on the Ganges is, admittedly, quite something. You hire a boat, a rickety wooden affair, piloted by a man who seems to navigate by ancient instinct and the grace of several deities. As the sun peeks over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the ghats come alive. Bells chime, mantras are chanted, and the faithful immerse themselves in the holy, if somewhat murky, waters. It's deeply spiritual. It's also a prime opportunity for that perfect Instagram shot, a fact not lost on the throngs of tourists jostling for the best angle. Spirituality meets the selfie stick, a modern pilgrimage indeed. Navigating the ghats by foot is an adventure in itself. Just watch where you step seriously. If the ghats are Varanasi's soul, then its markets are its wildly beating, slightly erratic heart. Plunge into the labyrinthine alleyways of the old city, and you enter a world of sensory overload that makes a Las Vegas casino feel like a minimalist art gallery. These aren't your sanitized, air-conditioned shopping malls. Oh no, this is shopping as an extreme sport. Narrow lanes teem with people, bicycles, scooters, and the occasional determined cow, all vying for the same limited space. The air is thick with the scent of spices, incense, street food, and something you can't quite identify but are fairly certain isn't Chanel No. 5. The variety of goods on offer is bewildering. Shops spill their contents onto the pathways. Shimmering silk saris in every imaginable colour, intricate silver jewellery, wooden toys, religious paraphernalia, and mountains of fragrant spices. Haggling is not just encouraged, it's practically an Olympic event. The shopkeepers are masters of their craft, luring you in with a smile, a cup of chai, and a price that initially seems designed to fund their children's Ivy League education. It's a dance, a performance, a battle of wits, and often you lose. But you get a lovely scarf. Just remember to keep your wits about you and perhaps a firm grip on your belongings. Varanasi is, above all, a spiritual city. They say dying here grants moksha, liberation from the cycle of rebirth. This, understandably, makes it a rather popular destination for those nearing the end of their earthly tenure and for those seeking a shortcut to eternal bliss. The air hums with a certain spiritual intensity. Or perhaps that's just the combined chanting from 1,000 temples. Temples are everywhere, big ones, small ones, ancient ones, brightly painted new ones. Each dedicated to a different deity, each with its own throng of devotees. It's a divine smorgasbord. The evening Ganga Aarti ceremony at Dashashwamedh Ghat is a spectacle not to be missed, even for the cynics among us. Sometimes finding a quiet corner to enjoy a really good, steaming hot cup of masala chai is spiritual enough. Varanasi is a city of glorious, bewildering contradictions. It's a place where ancient traditions don't just survive, they thrive alongside the relentless march of modernity. You'll see a saffron-robed ascetic, a figure straight out of a history book, scrolling through his Facebook feed on a shiny new smartphone. Holy men need to keep up with their followers, apparently. Or perhaps they're just checking the cricket scores. The sacred and the secular, the ancient and the ultra-modern, all tangled up in a wonderfully confusing embrace. It's a living, breathing paradox. Consider the traffic, if you dare. The narrow lanes designed centuries ago for pedestrians and perhaps the occasional sedate bullock cart now groan under the weight of motorbikes, auto rickshaws, cycle rickshaws, and the very occasional, very brave car. The rules of the road seem to be based on a complex algorithm involving horn decibels, vehicle size, and sheer audacity. Yet somehow it all sort of works. Or at least it doesn't completely grind to a permanent halt. It's a daily miracle of improvisation and near misses, a testament to the Indian ability to find order in apparent chaos, or maybe just a higher tolerance for minor collisions. The old city of Varanasi is a labyrinth, a glorious, bewildering and utterly disorienting maze of narrow, winding alleyways, or galleys. These are not streets in the conventional sense. They are more like capillaries, twisting and turning, branching off unexpectedly and occasionally dead-ending into someone's private courtyard. Getting lost is not a possibility. It's a statistical certainty. In fact, I suspect the city planners, sometime around the 5th century BC, designed it specifically to confuse invaders, tax collectors, and, much later, unsuspecting tourists armed with entirely useless Google Maps. Armed with what I thought was a decent sense of direction and a map that looked vaguely like a child's scribble, I ventured into the maze, my mission to find a renowned lassi shop. An hour later I had encountered 3 different cows demanding right-of-way, a wedding procession that seemed to occupy an entire gali, and a very friendly gentleman who tried to sell me a silk carpet I definitely didn't need. The lassi shop remained elusive. The wonderful thing about getting lost in Varanasi, however, is what you discover along the way. Hidden temples, tiny chai stalls brewing the most fragrant tea, artisans crafting exquisite wares in minuscule workshops. These are the treasures that don't appear in any guidebook. The journey, not the lassi shop, is the destination. Exploring Varanasi is not just a feast for the eyes and soul. It's also a full-blown assault on your taste buds, and occasionally your digestive system. The city's culinary scene is as vibrant, chaotic, and ancient as everything else here. Forget your sanitized restaurant chains. The real action is on the streets, in the bustling markets, and down those tiny blink-and-you'll-miss-them alleyways. Here, food is cooked with passion, served with a flourish, and consumed with gusto. It's an adventure, a gamble, and often a revelation. Just pack your antacids, you might need them. Street food is king in Varanasi. From piping hot kachoris, deep-fried pastries stuffed with spiced lentils, served with tangy tamarind chutney to chaat, a delightful explosion of savory, spicy, and sweet flavors. The options are endless and endlessly tempting. Each vendor has their own secret recipe, their own loyal following. You navigate by smell, by the sight of a particularly long queue, or by the enthusiastic recommendation of a local. Eating on the street is an immersive experience. The sizzle of the frying pan, the chatter of the crowd, the shared joy of a delicious, cheap meal. It's food for the people, by the people. To truly experience the city, you have to taste it. In Varanasi, humans are not the only inhabitants who command respect. The city is a bustling ecosystem where sacred cows, monkeys, and street dogs roam with serene entitlement. These creatures are integral players in Varanasi's daily drama. They navigate the chaotic streets with ease, embodying the city's unique spirit. The cows are the undisputed royalty. Sacred in Hinduism, they wander freely, munching on scraps, napping in intersections. Traffic swerves around them. Pedestrians step aside. To honk at a cow is a serious faux pas. They are the city's gentle speed bumps, a reminder to slow down. Occasionally they cause traffic jams with their siestas. These animals add to Varanasi's rich tapestry, a sanctuary for all life, even the ones that try to steal your lunch. The time eventually comes to leave Varanasi. You arrived with a list of sights to see, seeking spiritual enlightenment or just a different experience. You leave with your list half-ticked, senses overwhelmed, mind full of chaotic images and sound. Varanasi doesn't do gentle goodbyes. It clings to you like incense and wood smoke. Reflecting feels like recalling a vivid dream. Did I see a man bathing with a buffalo? Did I haggle over a brass bell? The city is a blur of intense moments, the spirituality of the Ganga Aarti, the beauty of a funeral pyre, the chaos of the markets, the kindness of a stranger. It's a lot to process. You might need a quiet holiday to recover, yet there's a strange sense of longing. Varanasi gets under your skin. You leave a bit of yourself there and take a bit of its spirit with you.